Our next awardee is Romesh Wadhwani, who I'm sure all of you know. Romesh may be best known as a serial entrepreneur, and he certainly has been a serial entrepreneur with so many different successes, which firms as like Aspect Development, and of course, most recently, the private equity firm Symphony Technologies. But his track record in philanthropy is equally impressive. Through his Wadhwani Foundation, Romesh has supported a wide variety of innovations in entrepreneurship, economic development, and policy to unleash the human potential of India for global growth. Romesh is a trustee at the Center for Strategic and International Studies and has established the Wadhwani Chair in US-India Policy Studies. The foundation has supported AIF's market skills alignment training and provided differently abled youth with knowledge and skills training and employment opportunities. It gives me great pleasure to welcome my friend, Mr. Romesh Wadhwani, to the stage.
You know, it's well known that the US is a land of great opportunity. And that's why most of us are here who came from India to take advantage of this opportunity. And for some of us, it was the educational opportunity. For some, it was career. For all of us, it was the personal freedom and the opportunity to aspire to be the best that we could be that brought us here. I think all this is well recognized, but perhaps what is not well recognized, or at least not equally recognized, is that the US is also a land of great generosity. Now, it's one thing to be generous to your temple, or to your neighbor, or to your family, or to someone that lives down the hall from you. We do that well in India, we do that well in the US. I think that's something we just take as part of, take for granted as part of the human condition. But I think the US sets a global standard in terms of generosity to people that we don't know at large scale. And at one end of the spectrum, you have people like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Vinod Khosla and others who have joined the Giving Pledge. And they have pledged to give away more than 50% of their wealth in their lifetimes. And I must tell you that it's a matter of some shame that I can't think of a single successful businessman, industrialist, or entrepreneur in India who has made the same pledge. So there are some 100 people who've made the pledge in the US. At that end of the generosity spectrum, none in India, not a good equation. At the other end of the spectrum, you have such a vast number of volunteers in the US who give their time in community service, who give their time at school, who give their time in helping at food banks. And there are a number of points of light in India, as reflected by Nipun in his opening remarks. But for the scale of India, tiny. And the scale that we need to achieve in India is 100x, 1,000x the scale that we have today. Now, 10 years ago, without actually having intellectualized all this, just instinctively, it felt like all of us needed to be doing more in philanthropy. And that's what led to the creation of the Wadhwani Foundation. And the mission of the Wadhwani Foundation is very simple. It's to accelerate economic development and job creation in the emerging economies using India as the test case and the proving ground or the proving model. The initiatives of the foundation cover the spectrum from establishing entrepreneurship programs at hundreds of schools and colleges in India, to creating an opportunities network for the disabled, because it's very hard for disabled people to get jobs in any country, but India is certainly at the low end of that pretty poor spectrum. It's about skills development and to enable job creation. It's about world-class innovation as a creator of jobs, and it's about policy programs as reflected by what Ajay said, Policy Center in Washington, D.C., and a counterpart policy center at ICRIER in New Delhi. One of the highlights of the work we do at the Wadhwani Foundation is the collaboration that we have with AIF. So our disabilities program is based on working with other foundations and NGOs that can actually help train and place disabled people in sustainable, high-quality jobs. And the AIF has done an absolutely terrific job of making that possible for us. And we expect that collaboration to not only continue, but to expand over time. So when I look back, if I have one regret, it is that I did not start in philanthropy sooner. I waited till I had achieved a particular level of economic or financial success, and then I started at decent-sized scale, and I've been growing that scale since then. But if I look back over the last 10 years, I will share with you the single most important lesson of learning, which is that there's no reason to wait. If I could do it again, I'd have started in philanthropy 40 years ago, right after the time I arrived in the US. And if there's one bit of advice I can share with each of you, and it doesn't matter whether you're a Bill Gates to be, or whether you're a Bill Gates today and other people just don't know it, or you're just starting off your career, the scale doesn't matter. All that matters is your commitment, your passion. And if you have that commitment for philanthropy, you will achieve two things. One is an enormous level of self-satisfaction, because you'll be helping other people. And secondly, you'll be showing that American Indians, as compared to Indian Indians, American Indians have the ability to fuse what we learn in the US in terms of the culture of philanthropy with all the great qualities that we bring through our Indian origins. And by combining these together and applying these, whether in the US or in India or any other geography, we can achieve so much. So I'm counting on you. Thank you.